On Sunday, the Cleveland Browns got absolutely dominated by the Baltimore Ravens. It seemed like everything went right for the Ravens, and it felt like nothing went well or went right for Cleveland. Baker Mayfield threw a bad interception on the very first possession of the entire season for Cleveland. Later, they had a punt blocked. They also missed an extra point when they did finally get a touchdown. Oh, yeah, by the way, on a fourth down, they tried to have a fake punt that got really badly stopped. Just embarrassing, really. The Browns were bad on Sunday. They got blown out. Just a really, really not close game. And the Ravens, again, they dominated. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens quarterback, was 20 for 25 passing, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns. Rookie running back J.K. Dobbins also had 2 touchdowns. And even crazier, one of the big momentum plays for the Cleveland Browns, a moment where I was like, oh, this could be the moment that the game has a bit of a swing. The Browns had a great punt down at the 1-yard line. And the Ravens just turned around and very easily drove 99 yards for a touchdown. You're like, oh, that was it. That was our shot. And nothing happened with it. So the Ravens were up 24-6 at halftime. They had this beautiful 41-second drive right before halftime to give them that lead for a touchdown. I am very, very confident in the Baltimore Ravens. They won easily by a lot of points on Sunday. And I'm concerned for the Cleveland Browns. It's too early to make a gigantic declaration saying the Browns are awful and they're not going to figure it out. And Baker Mayfield, it's too early for all that. But given the history of Baker Mayfield having struggles, it's very fair and it's very, I think, necessary to be concerned about the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield, their quarterback, needs to be better. He's got the physical tools. He's just got to put it together mentally. He took an ugly sack to help where he held onto the ball too long. At one point, he lost track of time on a 4th and 1. And I don't know how you do this. He just completely lost track of the play clock. Had no urgency there. The play clock ran out. They got a delay of game penalty. Really, really bad look to have on 4th and 1. Him and Odell Beckham Jr. just cannot connect. I understand this is the Browns' first game with a new head coach. It's Baker's first game in this new offense. And so, again, I don't want to be too harsh on Cleveland. The Ravens were dominant. And I want to give it like half a season before we make a gigantic statement or we really judge the Cleveland Browns. But Sunday was not a good look. Again, no declarations here, but there's good reason to be concerned about the Cleveland Browns. I just think that Sunday was a really, really bad look against the Ravens. I also want to say I am getting sick and tired of Odell Beckham Jr. Apparently he wants a trade. They're considering trading him away. I think do it. Not only did Odell Beckham Jr. not step up and not really make a big play against Marcus Peters, the Baltimore Ravens corner, the kind of number 1 guy. I kept waiting. Odell Beckham Jr., when's he going to step up and make a play? And we're waiting and waiting and waiting, and the game ended and we never saw it. And then he also had a really easy, wide-open dropped pass on a 3rd and 2 where it's a drive killer. Like 3rd and 2, you're wide open underneath. You got to catch the ball. You cannot drop that pass if you're Odell Beckham Jr. His prestige and the hype around OBJ is very, very quickly fading away. And so you got to make that play. You can't be considered a great receiver in the NFL and not make that easy catch on a 3rd and 2 when you're wide open. OBJ just gets worse and worse and worse. And I don't know if he needs to change the scenery. I don't know if it's the quarterback. I don't know what's going on. But I know that I wouldn't trade a lot for OBJ. Like you trade for Odell Beckham Jr. because he's a big play guy. But you worry about chemistry, you worry about his attitude, you wonder why is he dropping passes on 3rd and 2. He's just not taking care of business enough. And I just am getting sick and tired of talking about and watching and focusing on OBJ at all. Now, on Thursday Night Football this week, tomorrow, the Browns play the Bengals. And I just want to be honest, I don't think the Browns can afford to lose to the Cincinnati Bengals. They've got all these weapons. They got a bunch of upgrades. They got a new coach. They got, a bunch of good stuff going for them. They got new offensive linemen. They got a new tight end. I just think if you're Cleveland, you cannot afford to lose to a rookie quarterback, Joe Burrow, on Thursday Night Football, a primetime game with the world watching. We'll see it. I think Thursday Night Football should be a good game. If nothing else, it's very interesting. With Joe Burrow's first primetime game, people are going to watch. Baker Mayfield is intriguing. He's in commercials. People don't believe in him. I don't know what to make of it. I know that these two teams are 0-1, but for me, I think it's must-watch television on Thursday Night Football to watch the Bengals and the Browns, and there's a really good reason right now to be concerned about the Browns. They cannot afford to lose tomorrow to Cincinnati.